You can see the normalized data here, no correlation, very low correlation between the size and budget. You can find many places that they are quite small and they have big budgets, okay? And finally, I know that artists hate this, but we are going to look for efficiency, which is the cost per visitor. The cost per visitor is much lower in big cities. In smaller cities, the cost per visitor is much higher. And it makes sense, because the smaller the city, the less accessible it is, and the more expensive it is there to attract one visitor. Okay, so the cost per visitor is much higher in smaller cities, in European capital of culture terms. But this is not bad news. This is not bad news because if you analyze the marginal impact, well, this is what I said before, the more efficient ones are the big ones, okay? The big ones are the more efficient ones, okay, with less cost. I will jump here. What I said of the costs for small cities is not a bad news. Cost per visitor is much higher in small cities. But this is not bad news because if you analyze the marginal impact, and now I'll make a connection with the discussion we had in previous sessions and also the dialogue we had among André and Jeanette, is that what happens when you use multipliers, the consultant companies, and André, you are totally right, I totally agree with you, they calculate on the total amount of expenditure of domestic visitors. Whereas if you want to use multipliers, you have to take the additional expenditure as a result of the cultural event. And then, because there is an opportunity cost obviously, and then once you calculate the additional expenditure generated by the cultural event, then you apply the multiplier. Multiplier are bigger in smaller places because they are more isolated, okay? And they start from a much lower tourist base. In the case of Bilbao, why is the Guggenheim effect so big? There's no mystery there. Before the Guggenheim, there was no tourism in Bilbao. So the starting point of Bilbao was very low. No tourism. They opened the museum and then a huge increase. So the lower the starting point where you set up the cultural events, the bigger the impact. What happens in big cities? They have so much culture because they are agglomeration economies. In economics, cultural economics, we know very well about agglomeration economies. What happens in the big cities? They already have their huge cultural infrastructure there, so the marginal effect of the European capital of culture is very low. Because in Amsterdam, for instance, that Amsterdam had excellent figures, but Amsterdam, you have a very big proportion of multi-purpose visits. People that go to Amsterdam for business purposes and at the same time visit events of the European capital of culture. In the case of small cities, it's different because you have a much more marginal impact. So although it is more expensive per visitor to fund a European capital of culture in a small city, it's much more effective in terms of economic impact. And this is what we can learn from the European Commission reports. I would also like to say that the multiplier depends on the connection between the cultural infrastructure and high value-added sectors. In this case, the knowledge-intensive services, in the case of Bilbao. There is a huge connection between the museum and knowledge-intensive business services. Do you supply the knowledge-intensive business services locally? If you do it locally, you have a huge multiplier. Do you import the knowledge-intensive business services from other cities? Then your multiplier would be much lower. So the connection between the cultural event and knowledge-intensive business services is key. And also the diversification of the metropolitan area. Surprisingly, the higher the diversification, the more effective your sector be. Okay? Why? Because when you organize cultural events, you create inflation. There's a price increase there. So if you, as a result of that activities, there inflation, a price increase, you lose competitiveness. You are generating economic activity in the cultural sector, but you are losing activities in different sectors because that city is becoming more and more expensive. And that's very bad news. Because you are creating a cultural sector, but you are destroying the industrial sector. Okay? So, if you want to promote or improve, a real cultural sector, you have to diversify the economy as well, so as you try to control the pressure on prices and don't crowd out other industrial sectors from the economy. And this is one of the learning lessons from Bilbao, where you can see that the diversification of the economy was much higher than the tourist impact of the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao. Okay? We already analyzed this, the expenditure per visitor. When we calculate with multipliers, we never use the proper expenditure per visitor, but the marginal. Then, in the European Capital of Culture ex-post evaluation, you have from 20 euros per visitor to 400 euros per visitor. You can find everything, okay? It depends on the assumptions of the report, okay? So we have to be careful with this, okay? And finally, before I go to some helpful reports, I just want to conclude with some conclusions, okay? It is not clear that European Capital of Cultures have a greater impact than other mega events, like the Expos, for instance. Some Expos have bigger influence than the European Capital of Culture. So this is not clear, okay? First result. Second result, it is clear that the European Capital of Culture attract more cultural-oriented audience. So they are middle-class, well-educated people that spend their money, okay? This is very clear. So the European Capital of Culture segments the market, okay? Not so much in terms of numbers, but in terms of your market target, okay? It is very clear that it creates a positive image to the city. Because the perception that culture gives is a positive one, let's say, in the European Capital of Culture. So it is very clear that as a result of the European Capital of Culture, those cities have a much better image than before. Okay? The impact is much more stable and sustainable in small cities, as I mentioned before, because the starting point before is so low that normally what happens is that small cities start at a very low tourist base. Then they have a huge peak, a quite important peak, during the European Capital of Culture, and then it comes down. But in small cities, it never comes down to the previous level. So in the overnight stays, you can see that after the European Capital of Culture, there is a decrease, but it stays at a higher level. The overnight stays stay at a higher level than before the European Capital of Culture. So it does have, in the long term, in small cities, a more positive impact. Susan Silic, before, said that in Maribor, the tourist overnight stays increase was 12%. Was it that? Yes. She said that 12%. So I'll calculate that the overnight stays, if they increase 12%, it could drop up to 6%, and then it would stay there. So this is excellent news for Maribor. Okay? I think it's excellent news. And to finish with is, in this program, this conference, which is excellent, we have the very best talents. I just wanted to show the reports, which are not academic, but are serious, okay? With serious cases. One is this one. It is done by Greg Richards. He is from the Netherlands, although he is based in Barcelona. And he performed this report for the European Commission, European Cities and European Catholic Culture. Very, very serious study. This is not a typical consultant study, okay? It is very serious, and they say the lights and the shadows of all the impact studies. Then we have this, The Art of the Possible, published by the UK Culture Department last year, run by Graham Evans, very excellent report as well. The good things of these reports is that although they are performed by consultants, these consultants are very critical with impact studies, and they explain which are the problems and obstacles with the methodology. So, although they are public reports, they are attractive ones. Because as Andre mentioned before, the problem with public reports is that they are very often, I would say 100% of the time, overestimated, okay? And they are not reliable. So it is important to get public sector reports that are reliable, and these two are very reliable. They use multipliers, but with the good assumptions. And this is the third one, also by Graham Evans, connecting art investment with regeneration. This is a more theoretical one, okay? The OECD, the impact of culture on tourism, is not so much based on methodology, but I think it is a good base. Thank you very much. Any questions? Are you from Maribor? Who is from Maribor? Can you raise your hands?